Hello and welcome to episode 177 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is art versus science.
Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lin Trin.
Now, today's podcast stems from the fact that I'm going through a new particular course. I'm actually going through Messenger bots, and I'm going through a video sales presentation course that I just bought. It's a fantastic one by the man himself, Mike Dillard. And I'm going through this course, and as I'm going through the step-by-steps that is showing you in order to put together the video sales presentation, in order to persuade and influence people to buy what I have to offer. And a lot of the times what I've found with these courses, amongst, everything that I've kind of done in life, is that there is an art and there is science to things. Now, when you follow the science, that is when you follow the game plan, the structure, generally it never works out. And the reasons why it never works out is because the video sales presentation or whatever you're studying or whatever you're trying to do works for them, but it doesn't work for you. What I mean by that is that the process itself, works. The process itself works, but the way you deliver it fails, that process. And I didn't realize this for a long time, but it took me a while to truly understand and appreciate that the structure is really only 20% of the entire project. Okay, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm going to take this for example. A phone sales call. You can have a structured phone sales call and you can have a script, knowing exactly what to say, knowing how to say things, knowing when to say things. But unfortunately, if there is no you showing up to that sales call, that is if there is no leader, that is there is no person with certainty, that is if there is no person showing up, and the right person showing up, you will bomb out on that sales call. And I'm sure you've done that many times. Same thing with a webinar. If for the very first time you're jumping on Facebook Live or you're running a webinar and you have followed the structured script step by step, but you do not show up, you will fail and it will bomb. And it wasn't because the structure failed you, it's because you failed the structure. And so why I'm telling you this is because as we tend to figure things out, and this was a bit of a reminder, because as I'm tending to learn new things, what I'm taking I'm taking the framework of things and then I'm applying my own art to it. And this is really important because if you are finding that you've bought courses, if you're finding that you've gone through sales training, if you've gone through webinar trainings and you've given it a try and it doesn't feel right, it's because it doesn't feel right because you haven't brought your own art to it. You're trying to perform somebody else's play. And if you do this, you will fail. If you do this, people will not buy from you. If you do this, your ability to influence and persuade people drops instantly. And so you go from the credible source to a not so credible source. And so what I learned is that if you could turn this around and you could show up and perform the framework, and you could even miss out on 80% of the tactics and not have that correct, you would succeed a lot better than if you got 100% of the framework right and you didn't show up. So today is a really quick one for you because I know if I was to look inside of your business today and I was to figure out what the bottleneck was and I was to go, okay, hold on, your business is failing here on conversions and you're following a script. And maybe you don't even have a script. Maybe you don't have a framework. If you don't, fantastic. Build out a framework and practice your delivery of it. Time and time again. Why I'm telling you this right now is because you might have bought tons of courses. You might be listening to podcasts. You might be the most strategic person in the world and you might know everything from A to Z. Unfortunately, things aren't working for you because you're not performing the art of it. If you don't perform the art, you're going to fail. So there's one thing that I can teach you and kind of guide you to and give you a bit of an insight into is that if you do not perform the thing that you're trying to do at your truest intentions with true congruency with you and true certainty inside of you, it's going to fail.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.